The United States is short power, we're short compute, we're short chips, and there are going to be shortages in all three, and memory, four things. I actually believe a new asset class will be buying futures of compute. We just don't have enough compute power right now.
That was Larry Fink of BlackRock saying that he thinks in the future there will be futures for compute. So that's really interesting because right now, the whole thing from OpenAI to NVIDIA, Jensen Huang is running around saying this. We don't have enough compute. Everyone's saying we don't have enough compute. But Larry Fink, one of the most tapped in people in, all of capitalistic life in the United States of America, is saying that there will be futures for compute. So compute is about to have its own asset class. Basically, futures contracts on raw computing power traded like oil or wheat or beans or whatever commodity. Very interesting. And his framing is really bold. He's saying that essentially we don't have enough compute, we don't have enough data centers right now, and that he doesn't really believe that there's an AI bubble because of it. He thinks that we're going to basically rise up to the occasion and create all of this compute out of nowhere. And oh man, I probably believe him just because it's Larry Fink saying it, and BlackRock are, at that point, BlackRock, they are our overlords. So I would be remiss to go against what Larry Fink is saying. He just has so much information. And that's not me like agreeing with everything that Larry Fink says all the time. But when a person like this, who is pretty much plainly saying there's no AI bubble and there will be futures on compute in the future, that's extremely interesting. In the meantime, the US is short on power, chips, memory, on compute in general. And how are we going to catch up? The US is not really the manufacturing hub that it used to be. All of the chips are coming from Taiwan through TSCM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. And so where is the US going to get this compute? We know that Micron here in the US has committed to building chip making factories. We need more companies doing it. I think with the capital that the US has and the expertise that the US has, I think that the chip manufacturing industry could probably start blossoming in the next few years, but it would take a massive amount of capital and effort. And quite truthfully, semiconductor manufacturing is such a high level and expertise driven initiative that it kind of makes sense that in the supply chain, only one country, i.e. a Taiwan, would be the purveyor of manufacturing semiconductors. He said futures on compute, but what exactly are you buying? So oil works as a futures market because a barrel of crude oil has a defined spec, anyone can deliver against it. But what is a unit of compute measured in the future? I don't even know how that is possible, especially because while crude oil is a dynamic commodity, I imagine that compute power would be even more dynamic, and its capacity would change by the day, if not week. We are seeing the capacity of the oil market changing due to the war in Iran and the war in the entire Western Asian region. But that's also a not common thing for just geographical war to break out, and now the flow and supply of oil, global oil, is ruined. What happens in a world where we have so much compute that we can actually use futures to price that oil? And so the interesting thing is, Larry Fink is not I don't think he's predicting this futures compute market. I think he's building it. BlackRock just moved to acquire Allied Data Centers for roughly $40 billion and AES Corp for $10.7 billion, putting BlackRock directly into the physical layer of the AI infrastructure. So if you own all of the data centers and you're the one proposing the trade instrument for the compute futures, then you're kind of on both sides of the market, because we know they're going to own all of the ETFs that are going to be created and any of the asset instruments that are going to be created from the AI compute market. And so this is just another example of BlackRock owning everything and not stopping until they own everything. Very interesting. What do all of you think about Larry Fink saying that the future of compute are futures on compute? Very interesting. Comment down below. Like, subscribe, send to your friends and family. You're watching another episode from Simulacra. I'm Bryson, and I'm out. Bye, everyone.